There we go. Good stuff. Yo, Florida, thank you. We're coming back online. I'm sorry about that, guys. Stream's coming up.
Chris just went to go grab a drink. So.
Oh my gosh. God damn it.
We were sitting. We didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah. My power just. I had a brownout. And
brownout? Why would you have a brownout?
I don't even know. It's been happening for the last couple of days this month. It looks like they're having some kind of electrical issues over here.
Yo.
But hey, sorry about that. Yeah, that power outage. It was momentarily, but it was enough to turn everything off. So good stuff.
Is it cold there?
No, it's not even cold, man. I'm gonna have to call.
Why would you have a brownout then?
I don't know. It's been happening. My neighbors have been experiencing it too. I'm gonna have to call the power company, find out what's happening, because this cannot stand. I'm gonna have to end up getting a UPC sometime soon, and hopefully it'll help me to avoid that.
One?
No, not yet. I have a surge protector, but I don't have a UPC, so that's on me. I'll have to get one. So there we go.
Are we back on?
We're back on streaming. We're back on, and I'm trying to remember where Neil left off.
I gave it back to Chris.
He finished what he was saying, and we were turning to you, and then you never said anything.
Yeah, well, you were still in the middle of talking at the time. At the time, we were still recording.
Well,
so
yeah, but now we were basically asking you what your thoughts were. So
all right, well,
go ahead.
Well,
That's what.
getting back into it. Looking at Tim Ray, I gotta say that he was even more manic than I remembered him being in the manga. Like he gives me the vibe of like a disturbed genius, I guess. Also he's a little bit embittered because I guess Minovsky was always outshadow him or outshine him because of the fact that he was the genius that came up with the technology in the first place. But seeing him maneuver in this episode was quite interesting, especially when he was watching on the outskirts and watching the horrors of all the death that was taking place. That was quite neat. His interactions with his son, though, the heart to heart that he had with Frau Bo, I thought was really nice. She was trying to tell him to talk to him, but you could see that even when he got home, he just treated Amuro like he always did, with the firm hand. But the firm hand is not really what he needed in order to shape up. Instead, maybe he needed a little bit more attention given to his son. And you can see that Amuro kind of is trying to connect to his dad by looking at his work when he discovers Project V, and all the components in his office, and starts to study all the stuff about the Gundam. I thought that was a nice touch, especially when he discovers the office and they have that nice 180 pan, 180 turn. I thought that was just really well done, the way they directed that scene. Some of the scenes that were really cool in animation, though, the fight with the bodyguard, when the bodyguard turns on Lala's keeper, and he cuts that dude's head off. That was so beautifully animated. And
gorgeous decapitation.
They took that sweet time with it too. Like, good God. And then afterwards, when Char is fighting him, and that new type moment when it was animated was so nice and smooth. I really give the directors and the animation designers for these scenes to bringing these to life. It must be really nice to be able to bring Yaz's artwork to life, because he himself worked in animation for quite a while, and when he does manga, he always keeps fluidity in mind, so his work naturally transitions into animation when it gets adapted. And that scene with that fight between the bodyguard and Char is a perfect example of that. That shit was so brutal when the circlet cuts the shovel in half, and then he in one fluid motion just stabs him with it. It's like, god damn. It was so good. And then of course the scene with the mob and them trying to step to this big ass construction tank, it's kind of a foreshadowing to how mobile suits are going to end up dominating the Earth sphere soon enough. But it was really nice to see Anaheim Electronics in this part of the story, and Granada as a city. I don't think you really see Granada. You don't see Granada at all in Mobile Suit Gundam. You may hear it be referenced, but you never really see it. And then, of course, you see it a shit ton in Zeta and other series. But to see it in the context of before the 1 Year War and in the Mobile Suit Gundam, it's finally cool to see. And the way they do that mayor dirty. Cassilia was not even trying to be subtle with those veiled threats, man. But I love her maneuvering in this episode. She definitely she did some work, man. And her trying to disguise herself as Catherine, worst disguise in the world. So bad.
Sucks for her date though.
But oh yeah, exactly, man. She was
yeah, poor sucker.
she did a bump of cocaine and got down in the got down at the disco. Then wet up that dude's chest. What was his name? Bergman? Oh, loose lips sink ships and get you shot up. How Bergman can never remember to call her by her disguise name. It was too much. But yeah, other than that, the fight, as Neo pointed out, expertly done, and the horror of seeing how mobile suits can just dominate a battlefield even against lesser suits was ridiculous. The battle scenes towards the end, where you finally get to see the beginning of the 1 week war at the start of the year 0079. Those fights are horrifying, and as you see Char talking to Lala just nonchalantly as he's just ripping up planes, ships, mobile suits, everybody. Like he's not even sweating. It's incredible. I gotta say that I really enjoyed this chapter.
He's space sculptor.
Space sculptor, yeah. We finally got.
Actually did.
He sure did. We finally got to see what's his name? Revel speak. I don't think he's spoken the entire OVA until this final episode, and he said like 2 words. But it was cool to see him speak, because we know in the next 2 episodes he's gonna get kidnapped. We're gonna see Revel's speech, and it's gonna be interesting to see that. And I guess the next episode drops middle of this year sometime, possibly, or towards the end.
End of this year.
End of the year. Damn, we gotta wait that long. Shit. And then the final one comes out in 2018, right? Oh my god.
But you've been through this before with Unicorn.
Yeah.
Nothing is new here.
That's true, and I'm sure I'll have plenty to watch in between now and then, so I will live. But yeah, it was a fantastic episode of Gundam the Origin. Two thumbs way up. Sue me, Cisco and Ebert. Sue me. All right, back to you, Neil. Back to you, Chris. I'm sorry.
All right, so I would agree with everything that you all said. It's nice to see some deeper links in Universal Century lore, like establishing before the 1 year war the long ties between the Federation and Anaheim. So that was a nice little touch.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice seeing Professor Minovsky fate, which was not pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was a thrilling battle, and I know a lot of people are bothered about continuity, and that now this is the first mobile suit battle in history, and not Amuro fighting the Zaku's, and it's like everything always gets retconned everywhere in long-running franchises. You just got to deal with it.
So did they have a problem with the fact that the gun tank and the gun cannon existed before?
People have been complaining about this since the beginning. Even though Sunrise, you can see them trying to kind of get around it by giving them kind of goofy model numbers to emphasize their experimental status.
Yeah.
But even then, I do recall there being a line in the original Mobile Suit Gundam when Jean and Slender infiltrate the colony, and he's looking over with the binoculars, and he sees the gun cannon and gun tank, and he calls them some like old mobile suit types.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's not amazed by them, like, oh, what are those things? It's like, no, those are pieces of shit. It's only the Gundam that merits special attention. So that to me is enough, I think, to support that there could have been gun tanks and gun cannons earlier than what we presume.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it, Mobile Suit Gundam was a series created, and they didn't have everything figured out about the Universal Century at the time they made it. When you go back and you make a project like this, you do have the chance of making sense out of things that didn't make sense, and actually fleshing out backstory for things. So yeah, some events are gonna get rearranged, but I don't know, just don't flip the fuck out.
Deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Deal with it. It's just a fictional story. Who cares about the continuity?
Yeah.
If, as I've said before, if the people who work on this stuff don't lose any sleep at night about these dumb questions, why are they?
Exactly.
Continuity is overrated. But yes, overall an enjoyable piece of work, and it was nice to see some more this time about Amuro and his relationship with Tim, to give you just some more views on how complex and weird that relationship is.
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of love there.
Nah, just a lot of chastising about Amuro being a slob. and got Amuro on that coffee grind. Fix me some coffee, damn it!
Get rid of that trash. I mean, there was a lot of trash in there, though.
Oh my god, a shit ton.
was...
Take that fucking trash out, dude.
Seriously.
Jesus.
Come on, Frau Bo, take it out.
God.
Why don't you keep it clean, Frau Bo? It's up to you.
Yeah, that's the only way it's moving.
Armoro's just walking around in his underwear and, filth and,
Exactly.
Yeah. We have a comment here on this subject. The Black Cat says, Gundam needs a Disney Star Wars style retcon. But see, that's the thing. In Japan, they don't talk about canon. That's a Western concept. It's about what's official, what's not official. They have various levels of officiality, and they don't worry about this stuff. They don't think about it the same way we do. So they would not see a need to do a retcon like what happened with Lucasfilm and the Star Wars EU, because from their perspective, everything works fine the way it is.
yeah.
Everybody gets it in Japan just fine. All of these inane arguments are all Westerners.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, in some ways, it kind of makes sense. You have to have some type of previous version of this. You just don't go from nothing to creating the Gundam. It's like there's got to be something in between. And like you said, that whole thing with Gene and Denim, or was it Gene and Slender, when they're looking at the things, they're saying those are old types. I mean, they were looking for something else. So the gun cannon and the gun tank were kind of known even back then. So it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it took place, that battle, it probably in the chronology, it's probably a few months prior to the actual war starting.
I believe this battle takes place in UC 78.
Yeah.
At some point.
A year.
So about a year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like we're retconning things in huge ways the way some other meta franchises have. So it's not that big of a.
And to be honest with you, I bet a defeat that bad, it's not like the Earth Federation is going to be publicizing that. They're going to be covering that up in the
course,
hardest way possible. And even Xeon is going to be covering it up because they don't want their stuff to be known. So, maybe that's part of the reason why the whole Operation British and all that stuff worked, because there was a part of the Earth Federation military that was like, this is so embarrassing, we can't let anybody know about this. And Xeon's like, well, they're not saying anything, so we're not going to say anything either. We're just going to go ahead with this. So
we see how the propaganda flies in Igloo when the Xeon try to repackage the old exploding Zuda as this totally awesome new kick-ass mobile suit.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and there's going to be competing. There's going to be all these different types of these companies, and they're going to have different versions of mobile suits. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, it's not that big of a thing with me. I mean, because what is it? Like you said, the official Mobile Suit Gundam show, that's the official, and Origin's kind of like, it's official, but, a little different.
Well, the rule of thumb from Sunrise is it's official if it's animated, and then people, but what about the movies versus the TV shows? And blah, it's like, let's just let sleeping dogs lie and just take it for what it is.
Do you like it? That would be the question you just got to have at this point. Did you enjoy watching it? Yes, I did. Okay. There you go. I mean,
end of story.
If only it were that simple in Gundam fandom. Did you like it? End of story.
Well,
if only it were that simple.
Well, in any fandom, to be honest with you. I mean, my God, it's a fictional story. if you like the older version versus the newer version, fine, whatever. If you like,
I will not enjoy Rogue One because I want the old Star Wars expanded universe back. The only story I will accept is that Kyle Katarn stole the Death Star plans, not some SJW Jin Urso female. So Disney, you better bring it back, or I'm going to boycott it and cost you money.
And I mean, I heard, and that brings up a great point. I heard people in the Rogue One, Vader's freaking kill scene, he's all jumping all over the place, being at, and they're like, yeah, but like a day later, he's too tired to walk down the hallway. And it's like, well, what? I mean, come on. I mean, is it that big of a deal? Well, why didn't he just kick ass the way he did in Rogue One? Well, I mean, so what?
Because he didn't. Who cares?
Because you don't have to whip his dick out every time there's a fight, bro. He's got stormtroopers. He's gonna let them rock, man. Let them get a taste.
Tired. Maybe he needed his little seating thing that he gets his little energy stuff from, or whatever he does in that thing when he takes off his mask and stuff. Who the hell cares, to be honest with you?
He gave the 501st time to shine. There you go.
The nitpicking on stuff, man. It's just like, come on. It's okay. Big deal. So there was actual battle that happened prior to the mobile, the Zaku and the Gundam. Big deal. So what? They're good with those mobile suits from Thunderbolt that are way out of place.
Exactly. Mao says it best. You don't hire an army of jobbers and not use them. There you go. Wise words. Wise words.
Yeah. There you go, man. So.
Anyway, that's enough of that. So, episode 4 of The Origin, I would say, is another enjoyable one, just as much as its predecessors. And it, of course, will be a long wait now until, from the looks of it, the end of the year for episode 5 to start off the Loom arc. And I'm hoping this time, because the co-director of Origin, who appears to possibly have been removed from the project, also did Igloo, which gave us a different interpretation of Loom and had the spaceships moving around like super crazy fast on screen and kind of ridiculous. I'm hoping we don't see that again.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that being real weird. It's like, well, I guarantee we'll probably see if this battle between Xeon and the original gun cannons is a prelude, I think we're going to be seeing murder on like the extreme thing. But I'd like to see Rebel getting captured, though. That'll be kind of cool.
Yes, and expect more mobile suit variants because Bandai can't help themselves.
No.
It would not surprise me if they sneak in a limited amount of Federation mobile suits as early as Loom. Maybe not GMs, but some, like, another version of gun cannons.
Yeah, I could see that. Or yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe a gun tank or two.
A little sprinkling of all the mobile suits that we know weren't there in the 1 year war, but retroactively have been showing up in other material. I can't wait to see them.
Well, I mean,
And then buy the kits.
We'll definitely get to see the hell that's raised on those colonies too.
Yeah.
I mean, not just the battle, but I'm sure they'll probably do some things, because at that same time, where there were simultaneous attacks on most of the colonies, most of the sides, and I would think we would see some of that, right?
I would imagine. I mean, the biggest thing that we're going to see, I think, besides the Battle of Loom, is the dropping of the colony, Operation British. Man, that's going to be something else. If that is included in there, if they decide to throw that in, that's going to be the thing of, if they do it right, it could be a horrific recreation of that shit, and I'm kind of curious to see if they actually go down that route. Remind me, we haven't seen the showdown at the OK Corral yet in the OVAs, have we? With Salem, Mass.
Oh, in Texas?
Yeah, in Texas. We haven't seen that yet, right? No. Okay, so we might see that too in the next 2 episodes as well. So that's another thing to look forward to if they decide to take it that far. I'm not sure if they will or not, but that'd be kind of interesting to see.
Oh, I would think they probably do it. That'll pop up. I would imagine.
Yeah, that's a really key scene. I would hope they would cover that, but I won't hold my breath.
Because what was it? The sides that really got wasted were what, like 2 and 1
And 5.
and
5, yeah, 5 definitely
Those
got
are-
rocked.
Yeah, because 7 was pretty much just 1 or 2 that were like halfway constructed, and then 6 was neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And known for hamburgers.
Oh yeah,
true. Yeah,
Delicious hamburgers.
so
And
good.
young Asian boys.
Young Asian boys. I knew they were coming.
There is always a young Asian boy lurking around the corners.
Always, especially in Gundam,
Yeah.
especially.
now they evacuated all the people out of that colony. Dropped, right? Or is that the one that they dropped it with them in it?
With them, they gassed the shit out of those people.
The Operation British Colony.
Yeah.
Oh, they gassed them.
Oh, yeah.
They
Right.
gassed. Yeah, that's
Remember
all
Shiro?
Seema's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
They
right.
gassed the colony and then dropped it
Yeah.
on Australia.
They gassed a bunch of colonies, if I
Right.
recall, because even Shiro's colony at the beginning of 8th MS Team, you see that
Yeah,
momentary flashback. People dead around him. It's like, damn.
Well, didn't Seema not know they were gassed till like the last minute or something like that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, they
wow.
like lied to them. Yeah, that's right. And then she became. That's their whole thing. With they became like kind of this,
Pariahs.
the black sheep. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't
Oh, man.
can't blame her for being mad. That's fuck shit. that's terrible.
So they'll probably do a flashback of that then.
yeah.
They probably have to show that. But yeah, I'd like to see them. I mean, the murder they're going to do in these fucking colonies is going to be ridiculous. I mean,
Hey,
yikes.
Sobro Yahtzee says, weren't you happy to see young Amuro walking around in those short shorts like Al in 0080 LOL?
Yazi, you're out the will.
That's your young Asian boy.
Except he don't change his drawers.
Yeah, Al was just wearing shorts. Armor was just wearing his freaking.
His BVDs,
Boxers.
bro. It's horrible. I don't want to see any young Asian boy in boxers, man. I'm sorry, Yazi, I'm ashamed of you.
Well, I know this is too quick
Mm-hmm.
because we still have lots of Gundam the Origin. But what would you like to see them next take from the pages to the screen?
Oh man, you know the answer to this.
Crossbones?
Exactly, bro. Crossbone on deck, man. What they waiting for, man?
Crossbone is what we need to do.
Crossbone.
I mean,
It has to be Flash.
It almost seems like once they did this now, it's like they've like broken a whole new thing now where it's like we're just gonna sit here and if it's been written about, we're going to animate it. Because at one point it was like, well, if it's a manga, we're really not going to do it, or if it's a novel, we're really not going to do it. And now it's like, screw it. It comes.
I mean,
For the pages.
They've only been adapting new things, though,
Yeah.
or recent things.
well,
So
real talk.
Crossbone from the 90s is not by any definition.
Oh, come on!
And-
It's young and it's young at heart.
Yeah, and my real talk wish list pick would be Beltorchka's Children, to make an OVA out of that, but I know I'll never see it.
That's old too, right?
It's real old, so yeah, I mean that's off the table. But if I had my choice in the matter, that would be what I'd go
It's
with.
old, but there's a current manga adaptation of it.
Oh man, more homework, good guys, good shit. I'm down for that. I would love to see an adaptation of that because that's kind of the uncut version of Char's counterattack, and I'd like to see how that plays out. And I think it's got some ties to the previous series, like they do mention more. Char's counterattack didn't have time for that, so I would love to see them have more time to do that as an
You just
OVA.
want it
It'd be
'cause
really
there's
cool.
like less or no quest in it, right? There's
So,
no-
I don't know if there's no quest. There
That's
might
all
be more
you're
quests. There might be more quests for all
freaking
we know, because fuck her.
Let's not get into her again. We already
Yo.
talked about her years ago. There's
All
nothing
right.
more to say about her.
I'll step back. I'll step back. There you go. We're back to you, sir.
Anyway, I think we should wrap this up
Mhm.
with some ratings. So, Neo, what do you give episode 4 of The Origin?
I'd give this 5 or 4 closed Federation caskets out of 5. Some of those
Sobro?
guys those were closed casket kills.
They
Yes.
certainly were. Oh my god.
Or just those ones where they just have the helmet, not their real helmet, but they just take some out of somebody's locker, like what they would, like they did in Galactica. It's like, that's not that guy's helmet; it's floating somewhere else.
Well, as for me, I'd give it 4 fantastically animated beheadings out of 5.
Damn it, you stole my thing.
Did I really? I'm sorry.
I will give it 4 out of 5 questionable construction site security clearances.
Yeah, right.
So questionable.
I actually think that's what we were talking about when your power went out. Was Char and his. I built it, so I know how to get into it.
Exactly. I have here a few tweets. Looks like Yazi was the one that submitted these. Shout out to Yazi for doing that. Let's take a look.
On the tweets?
No one else decides to, man. People need to get on it. I keep telling people, use the hashtag Gundam Live 184, or whatever the hashtag is for that episode, and you too can get your tweets saying. Yazi says, I find it ironic that the suit Ral uses is called the Bugu, Buju, which is also the name of the bad guy's suit from G Savior. Oh, wow. I didn't remember. I tried to block that movie out of my mind.
Well, isn't G Savior in the canon from long in the future?
It is.
So there you go.
It's at the end of the circle.
Maybe in the G Savior world they unearthed it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they did.
It was left somewhere and they unearthed it.
Yeah, we're going to bring back this acronym because we can.
Well,
the reality, if you want to spoil dreams of crossovers, according to Mark Simmons on Mecha Talk, was that this was brought to Sunrise's attention that the name Bugu was already used for G Savior, and their response basically was like, big deal.
so sometimes you gotta kind of like Sunrise.
Because people freak out so much about stupid things like while we're on the subject, when Build Fighters Try was announced and they had the build burning and all these Western fans are like, oh, it must be a reference to the dub of G Gundam and the burning Gundam and blah 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 blah. And when asked about it, the director was like, I had no idea that the God Gundam was called the Burning Gundam in America, and that had the naming of the build burning at all.
Oh my god.
Or when Iron Blooded Orphans was announced, and a bunch of people freaked out because there already was a Barbatos in some obscure G generation video game, and it's like, guys, who cares? Really? What does this matter? This doesn't mean anything. This is a completely pointless concern that is invalid. Who cares that there was a Barbatos in G generation?
Yeah, really. He does.
I guess someone's keeping score.
Well, that's the thing. People just nitpick the hell out of this stuff. But like I said, though, I just love Sunrise's answers on some of this, where it's like, what? Okay, so next.
Well, speaking of next, Yazi also tweets here. Let's see here. The animation makes it far more dubious how Ramba Ral changed appearance from 0078 to 0079. It's baffling. Yo, he was real smooth and slim in 0078. He must have got some good ass food, and he plumped up a bit, man. He got a little older, man. He aged like 5 years. War as hell, dude. Yeah.
Well, he was disgraced a little bit, so he was doing probably like.
Well, we know he's an alcoholic, and he's had some hard living because remember in MSG he's only 35.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that dude has seen stuff. He's done stuff.
35 going on 55.
And like I said too, he was in he kind of screwed up and he was in the bad graces. That's why he took the whole avenging Garma thing. So maybe he was in the back just not doing anything. He's like, screw it.
Yeah, it could very well be the case. But yo, that's
maybe he said one too many times. Play with me, boy.
Play with me, boy. Yo, aged him every time he said it. And next, Yazi tweets, I noticed that Tim Ray is quite less arrogant in the OVA compared to the manga. and Anaheim connection seems stronger too. What Tim Ray is more than anything is he was shook at how damaging those mobile suits were from Zionic, man, and he was filled with the Holy Ghost on building that RX-78 and getting that project pushed through, man. You know what though? He sold them on it.
Well, imagine. I mean, can you imagine having that information, really knowing, and just sitting there and everybody telling you like you're dumb, and it's like, look, man, you're gonna send these poor guys out. This is gonna be a murder fest, and they're like, no, we our guys, you know, and he goes out there and it basically happens. I mean,
yeah, the hubris was off the charts, man, and they fucking ate shit for it, and it was so good to see.
But Solbro, not to jump on you, but we do have some tweets here directed to us, but not using the hashtags.
Oh, okay. I'll find that. You go ahead and read one. I'll do my best to find it. Go for it.
All right, we have two from Rob Mallard. He says, "Is Code Geass Lelouch of the Resurrection the worst thing since 00 Season 2? # looking forward to it." Yes, of course. Everything ever is the worst thing of that type since 00 Season 2.
Yeah.
And his related tweet after that is, "What do you think of Code Geass R3? I don't think anything of it because we don't know anything about it, what format it's going to be, what it's going to be about. So I, shockingly for fandom, have no opinion on it."
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen much. I mean, we saw the leaked footage of that one presentation where the dude came out dressed as Lelouch and they showed a bunch of moments from the new season. I mean, not even the voice actors knew they were going to be showing shit during that day, and they gave us a little taste. You got to see Callan. I guess Callan's like a baker or some shit now. I don't even know. I don't even know what to make of it. We really don't know much, but it was intriguing. I'm excited for it. I know some people are upset because the way Code Geass ended was strong and it was good. But I mean, as long as if they're gonna bring back Lelouch, as long as it makes sense, that's all I ask. If it doesn't make sense, or I'll be a little upset. But even if they can take their time explaining it if they want to, or holding the mystery of it until they get to a certain point, I'm fine with that. But when they do reveal it, it better effing make sense. That's all I gotta say. So you're gonna make that gamble.
Well, maybe they buried him on the Genesis planet.
Maybe they did. Yes, I'm sure they did. But shout out to Rob Mallard for putting in those tweets. We've got.
Here's the thing. Here's an idea that people maybe want to think.Maybe Lelouch at this point isn't so much a person, but yet an idea.
That's cool. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. If it's someone who
can be killed, but if you become a symbol.
Exactly. Last tweet. When are we gonna get? And this is from Yazi. When are we gonna get the Gundam version of Sanford and Son, Tim Ray and Son? Because of Tim's love of junk and junkyard. That could be it could be a side manga, man. When Amuro goes to visit him at that junkyard, Amuro doesn't leave. He decides to stay, man. He decides to stay, or he goes back and visits his dad. Oh, of course, his dad is dead, but you know. Snap his neck, man. But maybe he decides to stay, man, and become his Lamont, man. I'll look forward to it. Yo, we'll get the best
Mr.
sitcom writers
right on it.
Exactly. We'll get the best sitcom writers in on that, sir.
That's a great idea for you.
Exactly.
We're gonna take an iconic television show and put the elements of a little-known Japanese anime. This is a winner. This is for you, Fox.
Exactly. But that's it for the tweets, man. And back to you guys.
Well, I don't know if there's any mailbag questions, but I don't feel like doing any, so that's going to be the end of the show. So I will turn it back to you, Soulbro, to close us out.
Well, thank you, sir. This was episode 184 of Gundamn at MAHQ. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you're watching it live here on YouTube or Hitbox or Twitch, much appreciated. Hit the follow button if you like what you saw tonight. And again, we reviewed we reviewed the 4th OVA of Gundam The Origin. We're looking forward to the next 2 episodes whenever they happen. But in the meantime, make sure to visit, of course, mahq.net and mechatalk.net. That's the forum of MAHQ as well. Make sure to go there and subscribe. And check out all the other sites you see here. And make sure to also visit Gundam.net. That's where you're going to find all the episodes when they're posted. And fellas, anything you guys want to mention before we close things out at all today?
Make sure you talk to the power company.
I know. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to shut the stream down before it goes out again. But I certainly will. And anything, Chris? Anything you want to mention for people to look forward to next episode of Chaos Theater or anything like that?
We are starting the year off talking about Westworld.
Ho ho! Good stuff. That's a great show.
Yes, it is.
I would say great.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Neil feels differently, but you know.
Well, because, you know, by the very nature of its themes, I know he would feel differently.
Well, it's not even that. I just felt it was kind of... It was good, but, I mean, it's not great. But listen to Chaos Theater, see what they say.
There you go. Well, if anything, it's a riveting episode. I'm sure you guys have a lot of debates for that. Is it already out or is it on its way out?
It is not yet recorded, so it will be coming out after this.
Ooh, a teaser.
Nice.
Teaser.
So make sure to follow them at CTCast on Twitter and also chaostheater.blogspot.com. It's Chaos Theater, not Chaos Theater blog, right? It's just Chaos Theater?
It's chaostheater.blogspot.
Man,
Yes.
how'd y'all land that, man? Holy shit. That's crazy, man. But that's what's up, man. And I guess that's it. Anything else you guys want to mention before we go?
Nope.
All right. Well, guys, thanks again for tuning in for episode 184 of Gundam and MAHQ. For Chris, Neo, and myself, Sober Ryu, we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.